Is that the expectation from you, JJ, for Kevin Durant? Is he going to have a monster game tonight?
My expectation is that he will be Kevin Durant, and he will have a great game. If you look at this series, whether it's a 5-game series, 6-game series, 7-game series, whatever it ends up being, Kevin Durant's going to average 28 to 32 points. He's going to shoot around 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90 from the line. Like, this is who Kevin Durant is. I'm not getting wrapped up in one off performance from the field.
Was it an off performance, or was it Boston's defense that created legitimate problems and Brooklyn not having any obvious adjustments or answers?
It was both, because no team is more equipped to defend Kevin Durant. But ask any player in the league. He's similar to Kobe. You can play good defense, you can play bad defense. He's either going to make the shot or going to miss the shot. There's not a whole lot you can do against Kevin.
He's going to have a huge night tonight, Monica.
No question, Greeny. KD is going to give you vintage KD in this ball game. We dug into the stats. Shout out to him. But when he took one dribble, or 3 or less, he was 5 of 9 from the field. When he took more than 3, he was 4 of 15. I've been saying he's going to keep it simple. He's going to give you some give and go. He won't shoot that poorly from behind the arc again. I'm not worried about KD at all.
What else do they need to do differently? We keep talking about this. They lost by 1 second.
Yes.
So obviously they could have won the game. They don't need to do everything differently. But what else should the Nets be doing differently against what was a suffocating Boston defense?
I'll give you 2 things. It starts because I think there's going to be more of these games in this series that come down to the wire. It starts with late game execution. Boston won that part of it in game 1. It's why they were able to win this game. And the second thing is they got to get Seth Curry and Patty Mills going. Patty Mills played 12 minutes in game 1. Took 1 shot. Seth Curry took 7 shots in about 30 minutes of action. They got to get those 2 guys going to make it easier on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
What do you think, Monica?
I agree. Those 2 in particular, but also I think the rest of the team has to make themselves available. You know that Kevin Durant is going to draw the attention, so they got to make themselves available. Offense felt real stagnant to me at points.
Stagnant? Their offense was, KD or Kyrie going to go 1-on-5 on this possession? That was their offense on Sunday.
That is them. They're the number 1 ISO team in the league.
But it wasn't working.
Season.
I mean, at some point you could see KD could not get an open shot.
It's why I think
because Kyrie was spectacular.
It's why I think ultimately the Celtics win this series. Look, these I've said this for 2 straight days. I've said this for 2 straight days.
Go ahead.
I think these two teams are very equally matched, but to me, the Celtics' strength just a little bit outweigh the Brooklyn Nets strengths.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Brooklyn has barely had any time to practice all of them together, so maybe it makes sense they don't run a play, but they don't obviously run a play. Now, let me bring another name into this conversation that could potentially make a difference as we go down the road, and that is the name Ben Simmons. Woj reports that Simmons has been cleared for contact and that he could be available for the Nets as early as Game 4 for limited minutes. Let me give you the calendar here, because there's a lot of time between these games. They play Game 2 tonight. Game 3 is not until Saturday night in Brooklyn. We will be there, JJ, on the floor at Barclays to do countdown before that game. So how much of a difference, or what difference, could Ben Simmons make as this series goes on?
Brooklyn has holes in their defense. They improved over the last 6 weeks of the season, but they're still not a good defensive team. He's an all-NBA defensive player. On that side of the ball, it's great. I look at it more as in a closing lineup, him at the 5, being able to play make. We mentioned Seth Curry. We mentioned Patty Mills. His ability to get open 3-point shots for shooters. Everybody talks about he doesn't shoot threes. He creates threes for other guys. That's where I think he can really help.
That could be their own version of like a death lineup, right? With him playing the 5, I mean, to use the Warriors expression. Monica, you look skeptical.
Lethal weapon 3.
I love talking hoops with JJ, but here's my thing. If he's in a closing lineup, that means that he's been able to play and get rhythm the duration of a ball game. Is he going to be that available?
Well, I don't think the Nets are going to play him unless he is healthy.
Okay.
But I said this in the last hour. Like, Ben Simmons' game is not based on feel or touch or rhythm. He is an athlete. And there's some skill there, ball handling, passing, all that stuff, but he's an athlete. He is a go guy. I'm going to run up and down the court. I'm going to guard. I'm going to be athletic. I'm going to play in space. He can do that.
And do you know what the Celtics are going to do? Foul him the second he touches the ball in a late game situation. Yes or no?
They'll probably do that.
They're going to hack a Ben.
There will be some hack-a-Ben.
Hack-a-shack, hack-a-Ben. They're going to hack-a-Ben.
He's in a new chapter, Greeny. He's going to hit his free throws. He needed a change of scene.
He's been working with Kyle Korver.
Yeah, all that.
That might be the funniest thing anyone has said on the show today. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.